This is a HeadGum podcast.
Fact. I thought it was a fake name.
That was his real name.
Prince Rogers.
Wait,
Rogers
what?
Nelson. Prince Rogers Nelson?
Prince is his real name?
Yeah. I didn't know that until he passed. Hold on, wait.
Wait, if his real name is Prince, then how could he lose the rights to his own name?
I don't know. Because remember he went by the... Because I remember we were researching him. He had to go by the artist because he refused to sign his new contract with Warner Brothers or something like that.
Right.
So because he had to wait for 24 years for it to expire, which is what happened.
But it's probably like
Prince.
a thing of like he couldn't go by his name in recording.
Yeah.
Because
It's so crazy, though, because it's his name.
Prince
Yeah.
Rogers Nelson. That's it. That's kind of how like Lauryn Hill can't play her own music anymore because she doesn't own it.
That is insane.
Sorry, Nick. What we doing? Oh,
Are you guys Prince fans?
dude, I used to love Prince, right? I used to love Prince. James, hold up. You're a Michael Jackson fan.
So we've talked about this. Yeah. So I was a Michael Jackson fan, and I grew up thinking that you could only like one.
Same here. Same here.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you a Michael Jackson fan?
Of course.
What do you mean? Of course.
No, but
I mean, of course. I don't know.
see, this is my thing.
It's like, of course.
Like I
There's
used
only-
to like Michael until it was like a
He
VMA.
became white?
Because it was a VMA, and it was like the thing is, it was like if you liked like artistry, you liked Prince. If you liked
interesting.
showmanship, it was something
Artist.
weird. Someone
Because-
told me
because
because Prince
some
played
people-
every instrument. He produced his own stuff.
But some people
Like,
break down.
It was
some
weird
people
how it
break
was
down the
described.
artistry of Michael Jackson, though.
Yeah,
too.
I
which
mean,
is- which is
I
true.
think it's just if you like rock and roll, you like Prince more. Like if you can appreciate guitar playing, I don't appreciate somebody playing. I can appreciate it like somewhat. Like sometimes if somebody goes on like a huge major riff,
Like
I'm
a riff, you're like,
I'm like,
that's-
oh yeah, that looks really cool. But like for the most part, when people are like, oh, Freebird, I'm like, what? I don't care.
See, I like that Prince actually played every instrument.
Yeah, I mean, that's
his
impressive.
talent was crazy, but the thing is, Michael made hits though. So it was like
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Yeah.
tricky.
Yeah.
So, but technically, Prince did. But like
Prince
before we
did
were
too,
alive,
right? Yeah,
kinda.
but Michael's main hits were before.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't-
like, you know, what I mean, like,
you know what it was? I can't tell you what the difference was, but I remember like Michael was like this big, like I don't know, and
I
Prince
think
like a
it's
legend.
It's the
I don't
difference
know, it's
between
weird.
people who appreciate music like rock music, like people who appreciate if you can play a guitar and like play drums and that's like it, to say, you know what I mean? Like to say like he could play every instrument. To me, I'm like cool.
do you know what it was though? Kind of for me though.
What?
This is terrible.
And this is weird.
How is this our start?
No, wait, no, because we
I
got
don't know.
supposed to be honoring Prince.
No, because we
I'm
are.
about to
we-
remember.
this-
I think-
this is honoring
Yeah.
Prince,
Okay,
honestly,
great.
because
Yeah.
this is connected to who he is.
Because the battle between Prince and Michael was crazy. The whole thing about "Beat It," like when Prince
Yeah.
was like, "I'm not about," you're not about to say. What is it? It's
Or-
really a
Wait,
quote.
You're trying
not
to
gonna
say "Beat It" is
he was gonna, no, he was
Michael
supposed
Jackson.
to do.
Michael Jackson wanted Prince to be on the song.
No,
Beat
Bad. It was Bad.
Sorry, bad. And
the
he was like,
first
"Blood
line
is
is,
mine."
"Your blood is mine."
And Prince was like, "You're about to say that to me."
But in my mind, the duet of Prince and Michael Jackson on "Bad" is the greatest song that has never been written. Like that's the greatest. In my mind, I can just hear that.
Wait,
song,
I don't
and it's
understand.
amazing.
Was
Because
Prince
the
supposed
first-
to sing it?
The first verse, that
Uh-huh.
first half was supposed to be Prince. The second was going to be Michael. But apparently, or was it the other way around? 'Cause I know
well,
Prince.
if-
Who says your butt is mine?
That's
Is it
the first verse.
one. So Michael was supposed to say that, and Prince was like, "You're not about to say that to me,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to say that to you."
Yeah.
And Michael didn't want to change it because he did his interview with Chris Rock when he talked about it, right?
I haven't seen
Goodness.
the interview, but I've also heard a quote that he also just sort of said, like, you know, and Michael got it. You know,
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah,
know,
he was
Michael's
like-
gonna do his thing.
Yeah, it's like whatever, man. The thing about Prince is Prince didn't
There's
care,
too much
bruh.
personality
But
in both
but-
of them to.
Yeah.
Well, so for me, and I think that that's part of what it was for me. Like, I think that when I was younger, I recognized Prince as being more sexy, but sexy in a way that I couldn't understand.
He was
You know what I
older.
mean?
He was
like
an
an older
older
sexy.
thing. Yeah, it was like a-
you know?
They're around
and,
the same
and
age.
so like
No,
I know
not in
that's
age,
the thing.
but it was
then
like-
the maturity.
Yeah.
like Michael was definitely like, kids, what's up? You know, and like
Yeah.
doing dances and stuff.
Right.
And with cartoons.
Like,
and stuff.
kids, get in my
yes.
house and sleep.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
hey,
oh,
that's
sorry.
not where I was going with that.
Nobody. That came out of nowhere. Nobody,
I'm sorry.
You weren't talking about that.
Hey, nobody was on that. Nobody
We're
was
talking
on
about
board with that.
animation.
I'm
We're
sorry
talking
about
about
that.
animation and okay. But I think that I latched on to that about Michael Jackson than I did about. And then,
Wait, yeah.
But I thought Prince was dope. I loved the Batman 19 the
Bad
1989
Dance.
Bad
Dance.
Bad Dance.
He went number one with the soundtrack to Tim Burton's Batman.
Yes, baby.
But I wasn't allowed to I think another thing too when you talk about kids is Michael Jackson was very. I'm scared to even look at John. I'm about to say. Michael Jackson was very kid friendly.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was. He was
yeah.
very kid friendly.
No, he was.
This
Like
is
in
one
his
of-
mind, he was a kid. He was like, I'm a kid. Let's all have a sleepover. Get out of my house.
I'm not.
Put it in my covers.
That's not.
That's
why you
not
gotta
what we
keep
mean.
going?
That's not why.
Why do you
Don't
keep
tarnish
going?
his legacy.
I'm sorry.
What Michael was kid friendly was Prince used to wear assless chaps, and my mom was not about to let me
Right.
watch.
Yeah.
Like that. But the women in the family were oh, that's the thing I knew. I knew women loved Prince.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember that.
I
at a young
remember
age.
that too.
I remember women loved Prince. I remember even my mom's friends who didn't talk about stuff would kind of be Prince could get it, and I was like, what is this?
Well,
And
he
even-
was very clearly a sex. He wanted himself to be a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
yes.
And Michael would pretend
yeah.
on albums sometimes,
Yeah.
but everybody,
Yeah.
I feel
but he was still.
I feel
a kid
after
inside.
Thriller,
Yeah.
once Bad came out, people were like,
No.
Yeah, but my
You
favorite
ain't
Michael song is
you
Dirty
ain't that.
Diana, where he's
Oh,
talking about
yes.
sex, and
Yes.
it's
Dirty Diana is a great song.
yeah, and it's this is Michael talking about sex, and I'm like, yeah, Mike,
All
yeah.
right.
The
All
older
right.
I got, though, the more I appreciated Prince.
But
And
Prince
his-
plays-
I think
and-
he's.
Oh my-
exactly.
yo.
man, just
This is the longest cold open
Well,
ever.
just I think. Yeah, go ahead. What are you
No,
gonna
but
say?
it's the show that I think people have seen this, but 2004 is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Prince is a part of a tribute, right? He's playing a guitar. I'm pretty sure everyone is seeing this, and if not, you should go look at it. And it's him and a bunch of other legends on stage, and he's just chilling, right, doing nothing. All of a sudden, Prince comes to the front of the stage. His bodyguard is there for some reason, and he does a fake fall to the crowd.
Yeah.
Does it? Bodyguard puts him back on stage. All of a sudden, he gets his solo, just ripped his jump, just start ripping. And then while everyone else is still performing, Prince is ripping it. Oh, you see me? He takes the strap off and then throws the guitar in the air
Yeah.
and walks off stage.
And then it
Guitar never
does not
falls.
come back.
Guitar never falls. That was
Yeah.
a tribute.
That's Prince.
That was a tribute.
But Prince was just I'm gonna leave my mark right
That
now.
was so disrespectful, bro. There was him, and it was it was 6 other people on stage, and he threw the guitar and walked off stage.
Wow.
That's the man we talking about today, y'all.
All right, let's
Prince,
start the
baby.
show.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is.
Black men can't jump.
In Hollywood. Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Hollywood City, y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
Warmed up to
I know.
No, I should do something else. Hold on, wait.
it, built up.
I should do something cooler.
Yeah, do something
more
cool. So Prince.
Something more Prince.
First off, that's not. Have you listened to
But
Prince?
I just I tried to do a
He tried
guitar.
to do a guitar.
I tried to do a
I
guitar.
thought you were gonna do the sound he makes. What does he do? I see.
This is what it sounds like when the doves cry. All right, if you can't tell, we're reviewing the film Purple Rain,
Purple Rain.
1984.
We've been meaning. It's sad that we're finally doing it because
Yeah,
we've been
'cause
talking
we've-
about doing this film before Prince passed.
Yeah, we were talking about it, recording our last episode.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
nuts, man.
Which is crazy. So yes,
yeah, so we, the world has lost Prince.
The world,
Rogers.
yeah. Goodness, pour one
Nelson.
out.
Yeah, we lost Prince.
Pour plenty out. Do dance parties. I'm sure that.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's been a lot of dance parties.
But yeah, man, that's what he wants, man.
You gotta
Crazy
do it.
that we lost Vanity this year too.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
yeah.
And so yeah, this film came out in 1984. It stars Prince. And, oh man, what's
And
this woman's
Apollonia.
name?
And
Apollonia.
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 Who's
Apollonia.
Mexican.
Is she?
She's Mexican
What?
of Mexican ancestry.
And was it Prince has
She's
the
a
Revolution?
Mexican American.
Oh yeah.
The Revolution is in this, and they're getting back together, y'all. The Revolution is
What?
getting back together in real life.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Apparently, this film made $68 million.
Yes.
What was the budget like?
I don't know.
Like
Didn't have it
five?
on. Didn't have it on Box Office
There's
Mojo,
no
but,
info about that.
it couldn't have been crazy amount.
Oh wait,
I mean, I'm
feel like
interested. Yeah, I feel like I want to know.
it couldn't have been that much. Yeah, you're right. It couldn't.
It's
have been
hard
that
to
much.
really review this film critically because it's
A classic.
a classic.
Oh, but no. But the thing is,
We can't say shit about.
no. 'Cause
Well, I'm
can
just
I-
saying it's not like do you call this a movie? Like, I guess it is a movie. It's not a concert
but
film.
like, do you right? It's not a concert film, and it's also not like an extended music video.
Well, the thing is, no,
Yeah,
but it's crazy
no.
because this movie is a classic. But watching this movie, and this is no diss to the movie, I was like, what am I watching?
Yeah, it's like,
what is?
it's like a very loose story,
Yeah,
and it like jumps around a little bit, and like part of you is like, you don't really know how much of it is like his real personal life and how much
Yeah.
is completely made
Yeah,
up.
but like, do you like what are you? Are you trying to make those connections? Because like,
I don't. The thing is,
guess
I don't
not.
know. Like, is it a biopic?
right?
Like,
no, it's
there's
not.
literally a scene when Prince is in here in Apollonia. I'd never guess. This is a crazy thing. Apollonia's there. He gets off stage, and then she's staring. He stands behind her, right?
Right.
He's so close to behind her, and he's just staring at her.
Yeah.
And then she's uncomfortable, and she like he sees her like wince, and he smirks, and he does the Batman and like vanishes.
Yeah.
What is like? What
Yeah,
is he
why?
doing? Like, why?
Who is the other? Wait, what?
No, just sort of. There are points in the movie where I'm like, is he magic? Is he a magician?
Yeah, is he a
Right?
magician?
Like, what?
Which I guess is like that's Prince's persona.
Yeah,
right?
his
like,
aura.
that's his. He is a magician, right?
I mean, there's you're right, bro. Like, I don't know how to review it because I don't. What is the plot?
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess if you had to say there was a plot to this movie, it's there's an artist. Is his name Prince in the movie?
The kid.
He's just the kid.
The kid. Or maybe he had. Do they say it's the?
No, he was a
it's
kid.
the revolution.
Is the band.
The band, but they never say.
But he's kid. Like,
but they never say
Everybody
the kid
calls
and
him
revolution.
the
though.
kid.
Like when they announce him on stage, what do they say? It's just the revolution. Right?
the revolution.
Yeah, but he's the kid, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha.
he's the kid,
The kid.
and
The kid.
yeah, and so this young singer, the kid, is at this nightclub. There's another group there.
Morris Day. What's Morris Day's group? The time. Morris Day and the Times.
The Times.
Now it's
Morris
more,
Day and the Times.
guys. I'm so out of my depth. For this
Morris
movie.
Morris Day
real?
is he's a real
Yeah,
singer.
he's
Like
a
so
real
Morris
singer.
Day is real.
Are the songs that he was singing in the
Yes.
Those are his songs.
So Morris Day,
Oh,
those songs are real.
He's great.
And then Vanity's
I
song.
know some of those songs.
Yeah, and Vanity's song that they sing in the girl group is real. Shoot.
But it's Apollonia.
Apollonia
Sorry,
6.
keep going. Oh my God, Apollonia 6.
Now
Shoot.
Apollonia. Now Vanity 6. Did that come before this movie?
I don't know.
I was wondering that too because I was like, oh, is that the thing? You like just have a name and a number, and then that's a group name.
Well, it's tricky because
Like the
I
lead
don't,
singer and the number?
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know because I know that song is real in real life, and I know
Right. And I think Apollonia and Apollonia 6 like actually went on tour.
yeah,
Did
like they're
music.
real. Like that's a real
They did a
group.
real group.
Hold on, let me
And
look
there's
that.
Vanity 6. All right, so you guys look that up, and then and then
Oh man,
So
Apollonia
basically-
still look good.
Prince, the kid, it's really hard. It's not. I guess he's the main character, even though Apollonia feels.
Apollonia is the main character.
She's the
Yeah,
main
like
character, right?
it's
Kinda.
like
So basically, Apollonia gets to this club and she like kind of sneaks in, and she's looking at Prince, the kid, and she's
falls
like,
in love.
oh man, that guy's awesome, and also she wants to perform, and so the kid kind of takes her under his wing. They kind of form a romance, but then like this guy Morris Day makes her an offer that she can't refuse, and she becomes like a band with this group Apollonia 6. And so the kid is kind of upset. And then there are only 4 groups can perform at this nightclub. And now that Apollonia 6 is there, one of the groups has to get kicked off. And it's probably going to be Revolution and the Kid until he performs an amazing song at the end.
Wait, is that real? Is that what really happened in that movie? I did not know, man.
I mean, that's kind of like if you were just to take the story elements of it and to put it together, that's the story.
Dude, that what you just said is great because I was watching. Like, I didn't even know. I didn't know that at
there's
all.
no build. First of all, there's no build to like all of these plot points happen periodically throughout just long music numbers and
long
and like just
amazing music.
weird and like just sex scenes and randomness, like just straight randomness.
Yeah. So I found the story about Vanity 6 and Apollonia. So,
Okay, here we go.
So apparently, after a number of disputes with Prince, Vanity, Denise Matthews, the lead singer, left to record with Motown and started acting in films, which
Wow.
left the door to an acting position in a film role written for her by Prince in Purple Rain. After a frantic call, they found Patricia Kierto, renamed by Prince Apollonia, for her middle name. She stepped in Purple Rain, and then they renamed the group. Apollonia 6.
Wow.
And that's when the
So-
tracks came out.
So it's a rename. So
It's a rename.
Apollonia 6 is
It's Vanity
It's
6,
Vanity
but
6.
replacing Vanity with Apollonia,
Apollonia.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Boop, 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 boop. But you're right.
Oh,
They did
and
this
then
movie.
right, and so then there's this whole other backstory line that's happening with him and his parents. Like his dad is like beating his mom, but his mom seems. You never see her do drugs or anything, but she just seems like messed up somehow. Like I felt like there was something more than the fact that she was a victim of abuse. You know what I mean? Like there was something
just never
off with
knew.
her. And then his father used to be a singer and used to be a singer at that same place,
Yeah.
I think. And so he saw
stubbornness.
himself becoming like his father, and then his father, spoiler alert, winds up killing himself. Or no,
No,
he doesn't
he
actually.
tries.
He tries to kill himself.
attempted suicide.
And so there's like a scene where Prince sees himself like dead, like hanging. And he's like, oh, I'm becoming like my father. And then that song, When the Doves Cry, plays.
Yeah, man.
And you're like, yeah. And then you're like, is this what this song is about?
It makes you question so much
You're
stuff. I'm
like, what?
but then,
But
okay.
the movie is basically like Prince. It's just like this mystery. It's like
Yeah.
it's like very engaging and very like intriguing, but you're also confused and you're like, is this
Yeah.
what's real and what's not? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like to me, that's like who Prince is. I'm like, who is it? What man can like have that kind of hair and wear those kind of
ruffles?
suits,
The ruffles?
and just be like, I'm the
be
coolest.
the coolest.
And everybody's like,
Yeah.
yes.
Because no, but also I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy about that. Even taking that step further, it's like not only to say he's the coolest, but watching this movie, right? I remember watching this movie and being like, is this movie a classic?
Yeah.
I remember watching like, is it a classic? But then at the end of it, I'm like, I can see why this is a classic, but I couldn't tell you why. It's just like, no, Prince said this movie's a classic. Damn it, this movie's a classic. And I'm like, how cool are you that when you say stuff that it's just like nothing happens, bro, in this movie?
But I don't think it's a classic because Prince said it's a classic. I think it's the reaction or the feeling that you get. You know,
what feeling is? I
So
don't
wait,
know.
when he's singing Purple Rain at the end and the audience is
Yes.
like looking at him,
Yes.
okay, and the looks that they are giving him, and they're like, yes, like this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. That is what Purple Rain, the movie, was for the people when it came out. Do you know what I mean? Like people saw it, they went to it, and they felt like, oh, he gets me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he gets my world.
Because the cool thing about that performance at the end was it felt raw. It felt like it's coming from his soul. You know, he didn't want to. It's the song that was written in terms of the movie. It was written by his two female bandmates, and they kept saying like, "We have this song. You haven't even looked at it." And he's like, "I'm not singing your song." And then basically when he's like, "I don't want to become like my father," he's like, "Okay, I'll sing this song," and he like kills it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man. But okay, here's where I want to start. Do you guys like rock and roll?
Rock and roll is not my cup of tea.
I mean, yes.
Oh, you do?
No, that's good. I'm
Like,
glad
yeah.
you do, because I was like, this is going to be an awkward conversation. We might have to get Nick to try. Do you like rock? No, I'm just saying, like, I am really, like, it's not that I don't like rock and roll. Like, I'm just not a rock fan.
Yeah.
And therefore, like, there's something about, like, rock stars that I personally never got. Like, I never understood, like, why somebody was like, this guy. Like, it almost seems like a person just tells everybody, I'm a rock star. And everybody's like,
yes,
cool.
But that's kind
I
of
think
what
that
rappers do.
that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Like you say you're a rock star, and then you do rock star shit. And then
Yeah,
you
no,
are a
but
rock
that's
star,
what I mean. That's what rappers do. Is like Jay-Z always says, "I'm the greatest." You know what I'm saying?
and
Like
they say
ASAP,
it
I'm the
enough.
prettiest
Say
of all
it
time.
enough, and then people are like, "Of course."
Can I read y'all the so back in the day? Oh my God, this is an MTV interview. Back in the day, at the premiere of Purple Rain, Eddie Murphy's there dressed like Prince.
Yeah.
And they asked Eddie Murphy after the premiere, "Did you like the movie?" This is how he responds, and this is only because of like I'm just so confused on emotions about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He responds, "You should ask someone else because I have a biased opinion." Prince can stand like this, and he does a sexy stare into the camera lens because I'm a Prince groupie. I would do whatever Prince wants I would do whatever Prince wants, no matter what he says, what he does. I will watch Prince stare at this camera for 3 hours straight, and I'm like, yo, what kind of power is
But
that?
it's true.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, how do you? How do you become that captivating though? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a captivating man.
There's something about it because I'm like, because when he has acting moments in this movie, I'm like,
I can't, bro.
I
can't.
when he's
Wait,
talking,
no,
but I'm being for real. Like, let me just be. This is my honest opinion.
Okay.
When he like is like, Dad, stop.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like,
yes,
I was
yes.
like, this. I was like, this is a short little man with a high pitched voice who's like, who's wearing some weird freaking clothes. If he wasn't Prince and he was in high school, people would beat him up. They'd be like, "You're a nerd, and we're gonna beat you up."
But they do make fun of him in this movie.
And I'm
though.
like, who? This guy is not cool. Like in that moment, I saw through, I pierced through stuff, and I was like,
I don't know, but
this
like,
guy
but
isn't
like,
cool.
but
then I see him on stage, and he just doesn't care. Like the fact that he doesn't care about anything, and then he'll just do something and like does that song when he does the song directly at Apollonia.
Oh my
like,
goodness!
I don't know. I
And
feel
Sam
like
Morris, I was like, this is the coolest guy that there ever was.
But I feel like that translates to the other stuff. You guys don't. There's a line he has.
So when he was like, "No, Dad, stop!"
yeah, when he's like, "No, that's
Yo,
stop," and when he's like,
you were like, "That's
when he's
great
like,
acting."
and when he's like, "Mom," I just like,
See,
felt it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Just, like,
I'm not gonna lie.
felt it.
Like, okay, I'm gonna say this.
I felt it.
I'm
I
gonna say
did.
this. The funniest moment in this movie, and I like Prince, is this scene Braylock is talking about when he comes and he comes running.
No.
First off, the way he runs in is also funny. The fact that he runs in and he like bumps into his dad, and his dad looks up and just smacks him, and he
goes-
spins,
spins around
and then
goes-
hits the wall and slides down. Like, I'm like, this scene should not be.
I mean, to me, it's like, okay, here's
But
the thing.
he's the
Here's the thing.
kid,
I'm
so
like a huge Michael Jackson fan, right? It's the equivalent to me of like Michael Jackson going to Wesley Snipes and bad and being like, "You bad, I'm bad." I'm like, shut up. Wesley Snipes could backslap you. You ain't bad at all,
bruh.
Michael.
Nah,
but
because-
I believe you in this moment because I'm like, you're freaking Michael Jackson and you're the coolest. Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's.
but
I
also
think
there's
this-
another part of me that's like, you're
Well, this is the it's that thing of like I feel like Prince, and this is not, and
so much
no,
hate.
but I feel I feel like Prince is so cool and so classy that it's the thing of like kind of how what you said is like he didn't care. Like
he didn't care. It's true.
there's some parts like someone makes fun of his. I feel like Morris Day and the owner talks about and his dad they talk about how he dressed, and Prince doesn't even like acknowledge it almost. Like it's not even like a thing.
Well,
But then he almost has so much. This is the thing about Prince. Prince has so much power in this movie that he hops on this little, like his little motorcycle,
Yeah.
and gets so gully. He made a woman go into
I know.
a lake
Yes.
that wasn't even Lake Minnetonka.
Yes.
Got naked in the lake and then drove off and then came back.
But that's okay.
And then kept playing with her.
Yeah, kept playing with her. You know how cold she had to have been.
yeah.
And she's like a very, very beautiful woman.
But he wasn't even phased
And
because he's
says-
Prince.
He goes.
Wasn't
He
even
says,
phased.
"Okay, wait, but this is why I felt like his acting, everything translated. Okay, because she gets on the motorcycle, and then he goes, "Don't get my seat wet." And it's like, it's like, yo, bro,
That was a very Prince.
That's a very Prince
that's
thing to
sexy
say.
as fuck, man.
I mean, no, this is the thing, man. Like Prince is that dude. Maybe that's
Y'all
what
don't
it
feel
is.
that?
No, I don't know.
Prince
And
is
that line,
such-
I
he
definitely
said-
felt it. Don't get my seat wet.
He goes,
get it.
Don't get my seat.
I know.
But do you, don't
James.
get my seat.
Okay,
Yeah,
we get
James,
it.
you
Yeah, we get it.
First off, he also
Oh,
did something
God.
else. It's like when, like he drops her off or something. He appears at her house and she's like, "You can't come in." And he was like, "I know." And she hops on his bike and goes to his parents' house. First off,
Yeah.
Prince lives in the basement, yo.
Wait, how do we not even talk about
Prince
this yet?
lives.
Wait.
He
Prince
lives with his parents.
Prince got laid in his basement.
He lives with his parents.
He took not only that, but
That's
we know
not
he
cool.
lives there. He lets Apollonia see his parents through the
doesn't-
window.
he doesn't
He has to
Doesn't
be
even
close.
care.
He has to be close to his mother, who's in a battered
You're
relationship.
right.
No,
You're
that's
right.
true.
But it's not like, but I don't.
If I
He
lived
lives
at
with his
home
parents.
with my parents, people would be like,
He's not. No,
I
But then
get
if
laid
you
like
said,
that.
but then if
He's
you
like,
looked
"Mom,
in their
Dad."
eyes and you said, like Prince, I'm protecting my mama from my daddy.
I know, but he
"Don't
doesn't.
say it like that." Don't say it
no,
like
he
that.
said, but that's how he would say it.
He
And then-
can't. He's like not strong enough to do
No,
that.
he literally does not protect her at
But
all.
that's why he's there.
But he's Prince. Okay, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I was thinking. It was like, Well, first of all, every time Prince got on a motorcycle, I was like, "This is the coolest dude ever."
Right. The motorcycle looks so cool, and the shots always saw him pulling off.
My man can ride a motorcycle.
Right?
Let me just say that right now.
Ruffles, his scarf, that one.
There
long
is never
scarf.
a moment where he didn't look cool riding that motorcycle, and I was like, "Oh man, I want to ride a motorcycle."
Right?
Prince looks so cool riding it.
Did he ever have a helmet?
Also, how amazing of a person do you have to be? We're not talking about this movie because it doesn't make any sense. This movie
No, makes no
But
sense.
like, how cool does a person have to be to have the members of his group dress like him and look like him?
Yo,
that's insane.
There's one white
but
dude.
they're the revolution.
There's
I
one
know,
white
but I
dude
mean,
plays
like,
the guitar with the mustache.
They got the mustache and the haircut. He's got his women. First of all, those women are beautiful.
Yep, but they look like Prince though.
And he makes them cut their hair to look like Prince, and they're clearly they're clearly talented and strong. Like, how strong were those females, right? You could tell.
Oh,
you
could
could
see.
pouring out. I was like, these are strong females, and then they're still kind of like, but it's Prince, so we got to do what he
But
says.
isn't that-
Also,
right, but
you're a
that's-
jerk, dude, but we got to do what he said.
Right, but that's also like part of the. I feel like that's like part of the struggle of the movie, right? Like his power, his to talk about the movie, like his like thirst for power, right? His thirst for power, and then like his father's thirst for power, and they're doing like this. They are both enforcing their own ideas on the women around them,
Right.
right? I mean, like, right?
I wouldn't. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would phrase it thirst for power. I would. I would phrase
It's
it like
their own
their
self, like
their selfishness or their
Yeah,
their
selfishness.
because like they don't. It's not like they want more power. Like they just have it and they don't care about the people who they're with. Like
Yeah.
they're like,
Much
I'm
pride.
gonna always do what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
know
but
what I
then,
mean?
but then it also. But I feel like it. Part of it is that it spills over.
Well,
it spills over
does.
into
Well,
how they.
Well, it does because the later on in the movie, when I guess before Prince has his like enlightened moment, the owner tells him that he's acting just like his dad because his dad was stubborn. His dad didn't want to do whatever.
Right.
And even with like, I mean, because Prince's dad beat his mom. There's a scene in the movie where Prince hits Apollonia.
Yes.
Right. And that's like a moment because he gets mad because she did something to help herself. Like she didn't do anything wrong at all.
She didn't do anything.
But then he
wrong.
says. But then he says the reason why he is mad about it.
Like, don't you like what's happening?
It's like, like I didn't want you to do any of this. I didn't want you this close to it. I didn't want, but it's like
That's why she moved there.
That's not connect. You know what I mean? Like that has
That's what I'm
nothing
saying.
to do with you.
To me, it's selfishness. It's just like
It
he
is.
just wants. He was like, he said something like, "Don't like." After he hit her too, he was like, don't you like how we are now? Like, why would you want to change anything?
Yeah.
And
And
she's
she's like,
like,
I came in.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
First of all, like, I didn't even expect this. What's happening now?
Yeah.
My whole thing was to become a singer.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Morris Day early in the movie says to her, on
He
the
doesn't
street when
care
she's
anything about
He doesn't care anything about you. Do you think the kid is going to help you? And he doesn't. He doesn't help.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Right.
help anybody
Right.
until the very end,
Till
where
the
like
end.
he.
But
You know.
even at the end, he doesn't
But it
really
was
help
for
her.
his own.
It's
it was
for his own good.
ultimately for his
Time
own
out.
game.
Can we also say he never helps her?
Does he not help Apollonia at any point?
He never helps her.
She just forgives him.
Wow. Yeah.
Ultimately, is sort of what it
Yes,
is.
she
Yeah.
forgives him. He doesn't. First of all, he doesn't really apologize for it.
Right. He doesn't.
Do we know?
He's just not mad at her anymore.
Because remember,
Do we know
he-
which bands are supposed to play it?
No, there's also we didn't know what the other band was. It was like Sam Morris's band,
Yeah.
The Revolution, and then there was a third band that we never saw, and then it's Apollonia 6,
Yeah, 'cause
which
matter
we
of fact-
saw perform like once for a little bit, kind of.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because Morris Day at one point, that's true. Because after he hits her, she has the show with Apollonia 6, and she's getting drunk with Morris Day, and they're about to go home together. Whatever. Prince comes down, cock blocks. She hops on the car, and he almost hits her again, and he still doesn't apologize.
Yo, tell me how he's gonna just come out of nowhere, hit Sam Morris, and then like be like, "Get in my car," and she's like, "Fine."
but then she literally is on the ground. She's like, "Hit me again," and it's like he almost at some point gets mad at her again, where like he should be the one apologizing.
Right.
Yeah, Prince does
Wait.
not treat women well in this movie.
But
Wait,
then is
no.
is that just selfishness, or is that an exerting of power? Like, you know what I mean? Like
I think the other thing that we're supposed to think is like, he's there's a cycle, right? Like he's buying into the cycle of his father hit,
yeah.
and then you can even probably maybe his father hit. You know what I mean? And he because he has that self-realization, he doesn't want to do it. We're like on his side, kind of, where we're like, oh, he's not. We know he's not a bad guy, but like he's getting into this
with
mess.
his dad too, right? Where his dad like thinks he's doing it for good, right? I mean, like, right? Like even he has lines that are like,
Oh, his dad.
yeah.
Oh, his dad was like, never get married.
Yeah, his dad was like, yeah, don't do this.
yeah,
His dad was like, never get married before I think he hits Apollonia. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I'm just thinking about though is like Prince's real life, because you know he probably did Vanity dirty,
That's why she left.
right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. You don't know. Like the article I just read.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like most likely. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be clear, we don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure, but like probably.
You know. I mean, my thing about Prince is,
Yeah, so that's my. So anyway, he's a rock star. This is the thing. Rock stars are on that level of like rock star, you know, like sports athlete. Like they're these people who are like, we build up and they're amazing, but they also like, we give them so much power that we like kind of forgive them for doing crappy stuff.
well, I also feel like a rock star doesn't, like, for instance, like, if you compare a rock star to a movie star, I feel like a rock star has the leeway to be reckless. Like if they want,
Right.
like if a movie
They're
star,
supposed
yeah,
to
they're
be.
supposed to. Whereas like a movie star is a person who's supposed to be like almost elegant, like they're supposed to be on a red carpet. Whereas a rock star is like, I can show up drunk, I can trash a hotel room, but let like
Right.
George Clooney do that or something like that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so like, yeah, like you're right. Like we give Prince, not Prince, but like we give these people like leeway to do kind of things that may not be the best to people. I mean, his two singers or his two bandmates wrote, in the movie at least, the dopest beat.
Yeah.
Like Purple Rain's beat is a legendary track now.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't even acknowledge it until some dude told him not to be like his, you know?
Do you
Right.
think somebody else actually wrote Purple Rain? Or no, he wrote it.
I think he wrote it. I mean, because he was known
mean-
to like, let me look.
We can look. Yeah.
It's interesting why he put that in the movie. I wonder. Yeah, all this stuff, it made me wonder like what like Prince's actually
I don't know,
real
like
history
stuff like
is?
that though is to me it just feels like showing off. You know, like it's like if he did all the music, you know, to be like I'm gonna play this guy who's
Right.
like sleeping on a great beat that like but I wrote it.
But I
You know what
wrote
mean? But like I actually wrote
Totally.
it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like even in him being vulnerable in this film, you're
Prince
like,
wrote
but
it.
is any of it real? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is any of it real? Yeah.
Yeah, because he won. This won an Oscar
Right. For
The
for
soundtrack.
best for the best score.
songs.
Yeah, soundtrack or song.
original
Song.
score.
I don't know if they had original song back then. If it was just the score,
I think it
original
was a
score.
It's a score.
And
What do you think about
which
the-
it should.
What do you think about the women? How like, 'cause this is my thing. It's very interesting because I kept thinking about Apollonia in that particular scene where she's walking down the street with Morris Day. Because the sequence of scenes is you see Apollonia 6 and they're like dancing in lingerie, right? The next scene is her outside the spot with Morris Day. Morris Day is in a full suit and winter coat. Full suit, winter coat. She has on lingerie and like still has like a long trench coat, but like he is warm. He has like he's warm, and she still has on lingerie, and she's just walking down an alley with like. So I'm like, and the thing that's so tricky about it is that it almost feels like every time this movie made Apollonia strong and defend herself, it undercut it.
By
Like when she
this
like
other-
by like something else,
By
like
Prince.
for instance, like
Well,
yeah,
like,
by Prince.
whenever we talk about this particular idea, I always want to say, like, yes, women can be in lingerie. They could be like, if that's gonna be how you're empowered, then like, yes, do that.
Yeah, do
but
that.
then also like because this movie was helmed at the hands of men, then it's like,
Yeah, I never know
don't
what to
know if
think
that's
anymore.
okay. Or
I don't know what to
not.
think.
They're being-
I mean, like-
yeah, it's
like-
just very much being sexual.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like
Now Prince sexualizes himself too,
Himself.
and he's very much of like that free love type of
but
mentality.
he's not like his pants aren't like, you know what I mean? He's not like naked the whole.
First off, he had
his shirt off
He had
and-
the shirt off, and he had
Yeah.
the chest hair that was like in a design. I was like, bruh, nobody's chest hair is just in the center. Like it was like perfectly in the center. Like, yo, Prince, I get what you're doing. But like the scene after he
But
hits
like
her
a
the first
topless
time,
woman versus a topless man is not the same.
it's not.
No, not the
thing.
same.
But what I'm saying is, like, for instance, the scene when he hits her the first time, right? She has like a mini monologue that kind of like takes her power back, right? But then the very next scene, it's just weird. It's like you would see a scene of like her defending herself. Then a scene of like her kind of like drunk with with Morris Day. Then she leaves him, gets in the car with Prince. Like Prince attacks her or almost attacks her again, and then she's like, "Do it." And it's like now all of a sudden like she stood up for herself. But then in the next scene when Prince does 2 scenes later when Prince does the Purple Rain song, now she's sorry. Or like she feels compelled to like. Remember he walks out like after he does Purple Rain, and it's like I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna come back in, and then like she's there waiting with tears, and I'm like, why are you sad? Like I understand the song is powerful.
I think it was like the song moved her, and she like felt bad for him. I think she also like because of his father. She was like
let it go.
Well, like
okay,
it's that
like
weird.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna? I'm gonna talk about like the idea that like men and. It's not the same anymore. This was again the 1980s. This was a long time ago. Like
true.
30
something years ago.
30 something years ago. But almost
it came out in 84, right?
Yeah.
No, it came out in 84.
84.
So it's at 32.
So it's at 32.
32.
But
But
I was gonna say it's like that. It's like it's that battered relationship mentality of like Purple Rain is him saying he's sorry, in a way.
That
song is kind of him saying he's sorry.
But the other thing I was gonna say is just like men like there is this idea that like men are like rough and tough, like they don't share their emotions, and then when they do, women are like, oh look, he's like hurt inside, and I'm gonna protect. Like there's that motherly instinct, you know what I mean? So like they were like playing off of that kind of thing. Whereas, 100%. She was more willing to forgive him for that kind of like being a jerk because like all guys are jerk. Like we're supposed to think that Prince's character is better than Sam Morris's, even though Sam Morris's character is just like Prince. Like they're pretty much the same person, except Sam Morris is like more talkative. Like he talks more, and Prince just won't say anything, but he'll still exert the same power. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He threw a woman in the trash can.
Yes.
Oh shoot! Oh my god! I forgot about that.
They threw a woman in the trash can.
They threw a woman in the trash can. Yo, the dude picked up a woman, walked down an alley, and just chucked her in the trash.
That was like, what's about to happen, right?
Dude, they did it. I didn't know.
They threw in broad daylight.
They've done it multiple times.
Like that's the trash can they probably normally do it at.
That's where they do it.
And she was there the next day with them.
It's the perfect spot.
What?
I feel like I don't know if it was the same.
Oh no, but I'm about to say, dude.
But
if she
he talked bad to women all the time, and like they all came back. Like the moral of this whole movie was like you treat a woman bad, she'll come back.
Basically it's like good goodness.
That was happening throughout the entire film.
But that you have to write a brilliant rock song that apologizes to her though.
But my thing is like,
that was the main message.
Okay. My thing is
the
like,
main message
what's the main message of Purple Rain of the song?
Okay, so I wrote this down.
Okay.
And I think it's connected to the power struggle that I was talking about before. But okay, hold on.
But I also find it funny why you do.
If you think about it in the context just of the movie, and I don't know which came first, if it was like Purple Rain, the song came first, or Purple Rain, the movie came first, or if it was like
it came out at the same time. It was the same time.
It must be in the same.
But I mean, in the when they were making the idea, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
When he created the song, did he know that he was going to have a movie?
Right, or
Probably
did
not.
he write this movie and then he was like, okay, what's the song that's going to be good for this movie? Either way, I think it's great because I feel like the song, right, is like about this person who's like it's essentially all the like. I didn't want anything bad for you, you know. Like and it feels like that's why why the song feels like an apology to me, and why I feel like there's such a big theme of like the power and the it's like these aren't the things I was trying to do. What I really wanted to do was this, and then like this sort of image of seeing you in the purple rain is like this very poetic kind of life isn't always sunshine and roses. There's a tint to it, does that make sense?
Yeah,
Did I say that clearly?
But I just feel like if that song was an apology to Apollonia, right?
Yeah.
If it was, for instance, when he wanted to prove to Apollonia that song about him having sex with her, remember when she was with, when she was with Morris Day, I'm like, he pointed at, like, you knew who he was talking about. But my thing is, this apology song felt like it was more for him.
Yeah, but the thing is also, though, in the context of the movie, the song also kind of feels like it's him having an understanding of his father, or you know what I mean, like
his
own himself, and how it connects. Right, like it is layered in all of those ways, which is why it's kind of like the perfect song.
I don't know. I think I'm on Bray's side.
But
I think this movie is all. I think this movie is all about like be mean to women and they come back. Because like there's no woman who's treated nice. What about the woman who like works at the front desk, like the waitress of this theater, who's in love with Prince, and like he literally like barely speaks to?
Well,
like no one talks. Like remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Well, when you're a rock star, though, I mean, you know what I mean. You
ain't gotta talk to people.
You got to pick who you talk to. Okay, look, that might be sure. That might y'all might be right.
The film only cost $7 million to make.
How much?
$7 million.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, so he made some money.
Made a boatload of money.
Yeah, Prince.
Okay, Prince.
You know what I'm saying, Prince?
Okay, Prince.
I was see what you're doing,
Yeah,
Prince.
I'm just looking at like facts and stuff. Anyway, I'm not trying to. We're just trying to be honest. We got to be honest about it. It's not 1984, but we got to be honest about it.
Right.
Now.
There's in hindsight now that hindsight is.
No, it's great. Again, all the stuff though is so moving. Like the songs are moving. When the Doves Cry, I love that song. It's probably my favorite Prince song. I know it's like one of the most popular, so it's easy to say, but it is.
It is a good song.
Especially the timing of it in the movie made it even more powerful. I was like, man. I was like, yes, yes, you know?
Yeah,
and
man.
and you feel his pain, you feel his struggle, you're with him, you're on his side, even though he's not, even though he's also making terrible choices and but he's like, you're like, I get it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all about Prince.
Yeah.
The movie's all about Prince, and it's not about it doesn't give love to any of the other characters. And like part of it, you're like, oh, is this what I was wondering. By the way, we haven't even talked about race at all. He transcends race.
Prince,
right?
100%.
Prince is that dude who's literally like a legend. Those stories of people like when he walks and he appears places, things like shut down. I mean, the SNL story.
Yeah.
Like SNL story of him like being there for the 40th anniversary. The video, they just released a video last week or whatever, so people can actually see what
I've
happened.
heard.
Because Natasha brought it up, and then Jimmy Fallon brought it up.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon's on stage, and he has like a bunch of people on stage. I think it was his like, oh my goodness, I'm about to forget his name. Well, I can't remember his name. Beatle. He's a Beatle.
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
So he's like, Prince walks up to he said Prince levitates towards the stage as people separate. Like, that's who that dude became, yo.
Yeah.
Well, and I was just thinking about like, okay, he transcends race, and because he's such a talent and he's such like a figure, but part of me was like, I think one of the reasons he's so big is because he like shut himself off. Like he only allows his personal and like real life to come out in his music.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean? Like in his performance, in his art.
It wasn't about anything
That's
else.
the only time it comes out. And then like again, this is all conjecture, but it feels like he shuts himself off to the world by being Prince, by being this mystery, by being this like this guy who like even when he's in love with somebody, he like can't really be in love with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just like he's so guarded and so like I have to maintain this image that I'm better, that I'm above everyone else. Like I'm not really human. You know what I mean? And so I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about, Beyonce just came out with Lemonade. Beyonce's reached this point now too, where she's like, she's an icon and a symbol and like an idol and all of these things. Like, but she's otherworldly, to the point where you're like, she releases all of this emotion about her relationship, this stuff that people kind of knew, but like nobody like really knew, and now she like poured it all out in one album, and now everybody's left to like think and talk and amongst themselves. But she's like, that's it. Like I'm not. You know what I mean?
What's so interesting about that, and since you brought it up, like comparing Beyonce to Prince, like Beyonce is colorless, but now her color is coming back.
Yeah,
which is like ruffling a little bit of feathers because like people are like she's talking about a lot of black issues and stuff like that. Right. But it's so funny because Prince did the same thing, but no one ever he never got the backlash, if you will, that Beyonce's getting.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to me is that these two artists made it to a point where they're above just being black or white or whatever. But one who's a woman kind of does the same activism, if you will,
Yeah.
as Prince did, but Prince never lost his.
But isn't it
it's
because
also
that
just like-
Beyonce didn't do that, didn't used to do that, and now she does, and like people are questioning her motives?
Well, this is my thing, but I don't. The thing is, I don't know. Like at one point, that's my thing. At one point, to me, and I don't know how it is to be a rock star, of course. But like, if you're going to make it to a point of being colorless, I feel like you have to do the things that are that. Like you have to like address worldly issues, not just like issues of certain people. But I feel like now that she has that particular voice for everyone to listen, she's like, okay, I have a platform, let me use it.
But I do also
I know.
think though,
We
that is
disagree on
tricky.
that thing because I feel like she's had a voice since 1999. Like, Say My Name was a huge album.
Yeah, but that was
but-
R&B though. She wasn't.
But she was still that was pop though. That was still pop. Like that was hitting the pop charts. That was like it won Grammys.
But wait, but what I think it's might be more connected to than anything else is the internet culture now versus
that
when
too.
Prince was.
That's true.
You know, because like I mean, and this is a complete sidebar to compare. But
I don't like what this is.
No. But you know, like the backlash that happens with like comic book movies that has always been around, but it
Yes.
doesn't feel like it was because we don't have like
because we weren't tapped into it.
right. We weren't tapped into
Unless
the
you were
internet.
a nerd and were on the internet
Right.
looking for that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But
it
now
was-
it's like in front of your
But
face.
now it's in front of your face, so now everybody sees it. We can
Yeah,
all
now
be
it's
part
on your
of it.
Facebook,
Because-
mini feed
Yeah.
on the side, and you can't ignore it.
Because Michael took it a step further. I don't know if you guys remember, which is my second favorite Michael song. They Don't Really Care About Us.
Yeah,
He had
oh,
two,
God.
he had
Great
two
song.
videos. He had the one video when he's in Africa.
Yeah.
And he's like dancing with all the black kids, screaming,
Yeah.
they don't care about us. And he's going against the cops. And he has another video when he's in prison going against the cops.
Oh,
so there's two
no.
videos. And that video
I just
is like,
know
that video is literally saying they don't really care about us.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
this dude did it. And I'm trying to remember, we were so young.
Yeah.
Was there a backlash
But I
for
mean,
Michael
he
doing
did
that song?
black and
But
white. And
I mean, but I think so. But
Was
like,
it?
but
I don't
not,
remember.
But we wouldn't have been
Yeah.
involved in that.
yeah. That's
You know,
a good
but
question.
I feel
I mean,
like-
that's a good question. I wonder.
I wonder
like
what
I
happened to him when it went
Yeah.
down.
When did that? That's an older song. Though,
It's
right?
an older song. That's when he was like,
Is that
light-skinned
after
Mike.
black and white?
It was
That
after.
is-
It was
that's
after. It was
right?
after. It was after. I can tell you
But
that.
he also got backlash for black and white too.
Did he?
At the end of yeah. Or black and white is a response to other black backlash that he got.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
But yeah, but
there are a lot of black people in this movie.
oh yes.
Oh,
other
so many
people of
beautiful
color.
brown
Oh, yes.
faces. So many beautiful brown
Give it
faces,
up
man.
to the brown people.
Brown paper. I
mean, Prince did his thing, man.
Can we
There's
talk
really
about
no-
the fact that he was a ventriloquist for a second?
What was
See, but
that
that's another
about?
thing. That's another thing. That's him adding to
was
his
that?
mystery.
Like, randomly
he
a
that wasn't ventriloquism. Like, he wasn't
right,
moving
yeah.
his mouth
that
at
was
all.
ADR. That had to be like, yeah.
That was
like,
clearly
you recorded that
yeah.
after.
and yet, but he did that to make him seem like he's a freaking magician. I watched the episode with him on New Girl.
Yeah. Oh.
when he wants to get Justin,
Where he he like appears out the
Yeah.
apartment.
Yeah.
It's his compound,
He's
right?
like pancakes here, eat them. No, don't argue with me. Like all these things where I'm like, if another dude said that, you'd be like, who is this misogynistic a-hole? But it's
that's-
Prince,
and-
that's what rock star status does, man. You're like, you can say those things, and people are like,
Think about Chappelle. Chappelle did the sketch, right? Where he technically was kind of making fun of Prince. Right? But Prince is so cool that the fact that he was serving people pancakes and that him and the Revolution were playing in full costume, still, like, it's funny, but like, it wasn't cool. Like, we didn't laugh at Prince for real. We laughed at...
because wasn't that like based on a
Yeah,
true
it was a true
Charlie
story.
Murphy
And it's
story?
like, we laughed at Charlie Murphy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We laughed at Charlie Murphy for losing to Prince. We weren't laughing at Prince for serving pancakes and dunking
Prince,
on people.
That's right, because that's what Prince does.
That's what he does.
That's what he can do.
Literally, the last shot of that sketch, if you remember, is Chappelle as Prince doing a reverse dunk and then taking one hand off and just floating. Like, that's what happens in that sketch.
because he built up this mystique for himself, and like whenever you're like, hey man, like, what's up? Do you know what I mean? Like, who?
Yeah, just talk to
let's
me.
do it like a heart to heart. And he would. There's no way
He would vanish, bro.
Yeah, like he would
vanish.
just do something to be like, no, like I'm Prince. I'm not going to do that ever. You know what I mean? It's like I think about like Andy Kaufman as a comedian
Yeah,
who like
he was the Andy Kaufman of music.
Yeah.
In a way,
Kinda
like
way.
he's like, I'm never
Yeah.
gonna drop my character.
Yeah.
Like this is who I choose to be this now.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, and so you can put all these things on him. You can make him whatever you want him to be, and then like the only way for him to be like, I'm human is to do his music. And then when you do it, you hear it and you're like, oh my God. That's why the Purple Rain song at the end, even though it's like a 10-minute song, I hate freaking long rock songs. I hate them.
God,
I'm
how
sorry.
can you- how?
I do. I
You
hate
just
long
gotta
rock
get in
songs.
it. Lose yourself in it.
I like people are like, listen to this. And I'm like, I don't want to listen to Stairway to Heaven or what is it?
Stairway, I think
There
so.
would have it.
Yeah, right.
That's a long
I'm just like, oh,
It's so funny you
but
say
then I'm
that.
listening to Purple Rain and I'm like, oh man.
Because
I got behind
rock.
it.
He is rock, but for some reason, I just never feel like for some
Well,
reason,
Prince is Prince.
yeah, it's like it's
Right.
weird. It's like
He's his own
because you're
category.
right. Because I don't like rock and roll either, really. But when I listen to Prince, it's something that's like weird about it. It's almost like this. Like I don't know. It's like because he's still singing, but yeah, he's still you're right, bro. He says those guitar like the guitar is still heavy in there, and it's like I don't know, man. Like this dude is I don't know. This dude's just too cool. But there could have been a swirl though.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
And I'm gonna do a special Prince where one stands up.
Why did he do
I
it?
hate
The
this
same sound. Why did he do it? How do they know what it means in this context?
weird whale noise.
Everyone stands up without saying a word, gets dressed, checks their hair, grabs the instruments, walks to the stage, kills it.
Don't put your hands in the air.
They're in the
Listeners, Jerah's putting his hands in
air.
the air.
And then he did the sounding. He's doing it again.
We're not going to take
Hands
off
are
our
still in the
clothes.
air. Hands still in the air.
Oh, God.
Producer Nick.
No, he said no. No.
Producer Nick.
He called out for producer Nick.
But first off, I'm
no.
not saying it exactly went down like that. But I ever heard a story about if there was ever a story that came out about the revolution having an orgy, I'd be like, yeah,
I mean, yeah.
that totally went down.
I mean, they did. They
had to have, right?
100%.
They had to have had one.
There's no way.
That's
that
probably how they
did it.
had to get in
Oh
the
wait,
band.
are we talking about our theories of the?
I think
If the real revolution actually had an orgy,
I mean, all day.
all day.
I mean, all day,
right?
right?
Like that's a thing.
yeah.
I mean, if it didn't happen, all I want to say is that's a shame. It's sad. It makes
It's
me
so sad.
Yeah,
But my
I mean-
question is, if they did have an orgy, did it start with the?
No,
No.
it didn't.
I don't know why it would.
Still, don't do it. Before we move on, because I
Yeah.
know we have more pressing things to get
Okay.
to.
What do we do?
The movie Glitter. Is the What y'all think about the movie Glitter, though, real quick?
I'm drooling.
I'm not gonna lie. I legitimately forgot that movie.
Yo,
Oh no, I mean but it's good though, right?
is that's a Mariah Carey?
That's the Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
The Glitter, right?
Oh,
Is that movie about? What is that movie about?
You know,
Who
it's
knows?
about Mariah Carey.
Tell me. You don't even know. Tell me.
Yo,
What is it
wait,
about?
can I be real? I saw that movie. I do not know what it's about. I don't remember it at all.
I'm gonna Google it. You don't look. You tell me what that movie's about right
Okay.
now.
I'm sure it's about a singer in some
Yeah, so
sort.
it's about a singer.
What happens to her?
She has a 5-octave vocal range.
Oh my God! Enough of this.
She is played by.
Yo, my man said glitter.
Yo.
He said, "Is Glitter a good movie?" No.
All right, I've never
The
seen
cover,
it.
the poster, the glitter isn't good.
I've never seen it.
Goodness, Glitter.
The poster is. Hold on, wait.
Wow.
Mariah Carey plays a young. How old was she when this movie came?
She was like
enjoying the fact that he keeps
30.
bringing up new movies now. That's a cool.
It's throwing me off. It's throwing
Like, we
me
have
off.
no
It
idea.
just-
It's throwing me off. Because glitter, I was not expecting.
But I'm just
Glitter.
saying, like, for as many people that like Purple Rain, are there the same
No.
number of
Oh
people
wait,
that like
hold on,
Glitter?
wait.
dare you.
Listen to the description. Listen to the description though. Mariah Carey plays a young singer who overcomes a turbulent childhood. And
what does
begins
that
an
sound like?
exciting and often volatile journey to superstardom.
Oh, what does that sound like? Oh, does that sound a little bit like
Time out. Are you trying to say
does that
that
sound-
these movies are similar because they both are musicians? Because
I
if
mean-
that's what you're saying,
No,
then
no,
yes,
no, I
you're
know,
No,
right.
but they had troubled childhoods. Though.
Oh my goodness, Terrence Howard is in this movie,
And
Doesn't mean
Terrence
it's a
Howard
good
is in it.
movie. Oh,
and
goodness.
Eric Benet,
Okay, enough. Enough.
the
of this.
Brat.
Oh wait, DeBrat is in this. Oh,
Why are
my
you
gosh.
surprised that DeBrat is
No,
in it?
I'm going on
Actually,
a glitter.
you're right. I'm not. Is
I'm
Lil'
going
Kim
on
in
a
this?
glitter tangent. I'm never
All
going
right.
to stop talking about.
Oh my
glitter for
God,
the rest
guys,
of-
Lil Kim.
Oh, we don't have time.
Lil' Kim, man.
We don't have time.
Yeah.
We don't have time.
Feel bad.
I've seen a lot. I've seen the pictures and I've read a lot of great responses to it.
I mean,
Oh,
she can
interesting.
do what she wants. But Lil'
I mean,
Kim, I loved
obviously
you
you
in
can do it.
hardcore back in the old days.
Yeah,
so-
that's the thing I do want to say is
You know.
that like I have always found you to be beautiful, Lil' Kim. So whatever you're going through,
I mean, she
you
might
know.
not be going through it. She might just wanted to do it.
I mean, you go through something when you change.
Yeah,
your
you
whole,
go through something when you change that much about yourself.
right. I mean, right?
Yeah,
you
you're
go
going through something.
So that's all I want to say. You're beautiful.
Hey, MJ did it too.
MJ did too. Exactly.
A lot of people
But
do
he
it.
had.
He had vitiligo.
Vitiligo.
Do you guys ever watch the Boondocks?
Yes.
Vitiligo.
What's the deal?
I got vitiligo.
These niggas over
They
here.
say Michael had it on his hand first. That's
He
where
had
the
it
glove
up.
came from.
But I know they had it on. But hold on. But wait. What's
They
that
say
beautiful?
that's
It's
where
a
the
beautiful model right now who has that.
Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous.
What is her name?
She was in
She's in
Lemonade,
Beyonce.
right?
She's in Lemonade. Yo,
She's gorgeous.
first off, I know we talking about Prince, but Beyonce had so many beautiful, strong women that she had. What is it?
Yo, B's doing
Zendaya.
B is on the Prince level.
Yo,
oh.
she had
She's on
Zendaya.
Prince
She had
level.
Amanda. Was
Show
it
is.
Steinfeld?
Has there ever been a woman who's
like
been on like this
Siegfried?
kind of like
Siegfried,
Madonna.
But has Madonna? But this is my thing. Madonna's done stuff for women, but like Beyonce had a video with like she had the mothers of like.
there's a different.
Yo, Beyonce
Oh yeah,
like.
no, that's
no
just,
need to-
that's just straight
Sorry,
message.
sorry.
It's just,
Beyonce
Beyonce
was
message
just dropping
real
truth
quick.
bombs on them out
Message
here.
real quick.
I'm just talking about that like rock star.
Oh, rock
like,
star, yeah.
Like you're not
yeah.
a person anymore. You know what I mean?
Lady
Cher's
Gaga
not a-
almost.
Cher, you're right. Cher,
Lady
totally.
Gaga, I would.
Is
Lady
Gaga still
Gaga.
there though? Because
Lady
Gaga
Gaga.
had it at one point.
She doing her thing.
Oh, what's her name? Winnie Harlow. Yeah, man, 'cause she has vitiligo, right?
Oh, that's
The model. who had
yeah.
Beyonce.
All right. Okay, here we go. It's time for the cause. Guys, we break down films not based on how well we thought or how much they pleased us critically
Yeah.
or entertainment-wise, but how much they help the cause of leading black actors in Hollywood. More leading black actors in Hollywood.
That
All right.
makes this movie difficult. That right there. That makes
Right,
doing
but
this
just
movie
to
difficult.
put this
I
out there,
don't
I don't know
know.
why we've been doing a thing of like only actors in the movie. Like, did they go on to do stuff like
No,
that's
but-
not a thing?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put that out there.
But we felt like it was kind of a thing, right? Like,
Somewhat, it could be a part of it,
changes
but
it, yeah,
it's
but it's
not like
overall.
to be the
it's
only
not like
thing.
the only.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
like
overall.
did
Yeah.
Prince do more films, and
Yeah,
if he did
with
it,
it-
God, I don't
music
know what to
films,
rate
or-
this now.
all
Where
right.
do I? I'm gonna close my eyes.
Oh, I don't know. I've been not on the same page as you guys for the last
Yeah,
like,
that's
4
true.
movies.
Yeah.
That is true.
For the last 4
All right,
movies.
you ready?
No.
No.
All right, here we go. Count of 3.
Oh wait. Okay.
1,
Oh, you started.
2,
All right.
3.
I hate you guys so much.
I don't know. Why are you not with us on this one?
I'm surprised. Why did you not?
I was
don't know.
gonna do a fist, but then I thought about it a little bit more.
What are you thinking of?
No, you
Okay.
guys go
so
first.
the movie
You
got
guys go first.
No, you go first. So the movie got 2
All right,
black
I
fists
gave it
and a
palm.
white palm.
The reason I gave it a white palm is because the leads are musicians, and we argue week to week to week about how we don't like rappers and stuff in movies. So
Oh,
that's
this
the
is
only
different.
reason I gave it a palm.
This is different,
That's
man.
true,
That's
man,
the,
but-
I know it's different.
This is totally
because
different.
I
It's
gave
so
House
different.
Party a fist, and House Party's the same movie, but not the same movie. But I
Like,
gave
And House Party's like a real movie.
I hate this so much. I'm so
This was a-
mad.
this was
I'm
a music
so
video.
mad.
Why did you think that we would do that?
That's the reason
I'll explain
and
why I
and
did
I
it.
literally only did this because I was trying to think of what you guys were going to get.
You're so ridiculous.
And so I only gave it a
Be your
a
own
palm because
person.
I can't now.
Stop. Get
Glitter.
out.
He said
Get
glitter.
out.
I'll leave.
You want me to go? You want me
It's
to go?
drama. It creates
I'll go.
drama.
Okay, go.
I gave it a black fist for a bunch of silly reasons. One, because I was
Right.
like, this is Prince, and like I gotta get Prince a black fist. One,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
How could
so-
you not get
I gotta get Prince a
Prince
black
Oh,
fist. I
man,
feel like that's
forget y'all.
disrespectful.
So disrespectful. The
Who
man just
are
died,
you?
dude.
It's Prince.
Can you honor his legacy
This
a
doesn't
little
mean-
bit?
This
It's-
doesn't
Can
mean
we
I didn't
also
like
just
it.
point out the fact that James didn't even watch the full movie, man?
Doesn't-
Oh, I didn't want to sell him.
No,
Wait,
now I'm
hold up.
calling him out.
No, wait, hold up.
Yo, he
Why
don't
you
watch the
go-
full movie. He's gonna get
Why
Prince
you
a
gonna
white
bring it
palm.
up? Why you gonna bring it up at the end of the podcast, though? You let us do. You make us do this whole podcast.
gave it a fist
under
on
the
principle.
guise-
Nigga, you ain't watched the
Yo, you
film.
did Prince dirty.
Forget. No, I'm mad.
That's how
now.
y'all know.
I feel like
I'm gonna snitch shoot. I'm gonna snitch shoot.
Y'all sent me up the river.
James was in the. I got here. James, first off, who never comes on time, is in the living room watching Purple Rain on his laptop and producing Nick's living room.
Why you gotta say I never come on time on the podcast? Real quick? Why you gotta say that and put a world to hear?
Braylock opened the door. He opened the door, so I was gonna run with it.
All right, sorry. Keep
All
going.
right, on my phone. Okay. So I gave Prince a fist because I respect Prince because he's Prince. I mean, what type of person doesn't respect Prince?
Wait.
So it was my time. It was my time. Let me say my piece.
What happened to the love and support? I thought we loved each other.
I mean,
Keep talking. This recording apart.
I try to talk. Okay, look, man. Okay, look. I respect Prince. What? I respect the outfits and the mere fact that this movie, even without Prince passing away, this movie is considered a legendary film. It was made for $7 million. He made 68. And the thing is I'm a human being, and as a human being, I know to respect the artist Prince. So that's it. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right.
So now I'm not a human being.
It's not your time. It's not your time. It is Jonathan's time right now.
All right. To be real. The reason I gave this movie a fist is because I'm just thinking about around the time this came out. When did Raw and was Raw the first one?
Raw was the first one.
That must have been like around this time, right? 83, 82?
I can tell you as you keep going.
Oh yeah, Raw.
Anyway, I'm just thinking about this. Prince is one of those legendary, like the 80s really did something for black people, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Because it was like MJ, Eddie Murphy, Prince. You have like these Whoopi, you have these like legendary black people who like, and MJ was getting off track. You know what I mean? It was like, who like dominated pop culture. Rap is starting, right? Like in a way where America was like really allowing themselves to fall in love with like black culture. And Prince did it in an area where a lot of people considered that to be white man's game.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, you had, even though rock and roll wasn't invented by black people. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that now.
Truth bombs will be dropped.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, so you had like all these rock stars, a lot coming from England and American and, Aerosmith and AC/DC and Guns N' Roses and all these people, the Eagles and all these rock stars. And then you had Jimi Hendrix and you had Prince.
Oh yeah, Jimmy.
You know what I mean? And like
100%.
And Jimmy died too young, and so did Prince. But Prince was here, and in the 80s he was such a mega hit, and he does this film that's not a real film. It's like it's a loose art piece. It's like it's an art piece.
It's an art piece
that people saw, that people know, even if they didn't see it in theaters. Like people know. I knew about Purple Rain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I even had any interest in seeing it. You know what I mean? Like this is the movie. You know what I mean? This is Prince, and he became. And so anyway, the only reason I'm saying that is because you have that, and he was a part of this this trend for black entertainers to be able to do their own thing and produce their own stuff and make their own stuff, and for people to be like, we can trust this level of fame. Now, it's not where we want it to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want somebody to be. So I guess like, to defend James a little bit, like I don't want.
You don't need to.
I'm just saying,
good
like,
all by myself.
I'm just saying, like, it's true. Like,
I'm good.
We don't want, we don't want it to be like, you can only do this if you are this famous. But he was doing something that wasn't just like, I'm going to put you in a movie. It was like, we're going to let you do some crazy stuff. And people are like, we'll see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, any concert films or these like, anyway, that's why I gave it a fist. And also, I gave it a fist because I'm a respectable human being.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
So
yes, you are.
So at the end of this episode, I'm not a human being. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because we all know. You should tweet at us. How about let's do a call to action? Tweet at us
this is
if you
unnecessary.
think it's a respectable human thing to do
to give
Prince a black fist.
Just tweet at us a black fist if you're with us.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Just tweet at us a black fist.
And if you're on James' side, tweet a palm.
But if you see like just
what if we got people
a little bit, if you see an inkling, if you have like an inkling of an idea that I might have, like you may not have given it a full fist. Like
you don't
like
even trust yourself, right?
Like if you would have had a tiny inkling of it, just tweet at me. Tweet.
Braylock, can I ask you a
Enough
question?
of that.
Eddie Murphy's Delirious came out the year before, 83.
Year before, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, but anyway, there we
Killing
go.
it.
We're doing it.
We did it.
Rest
in peace, Prince.
R.I.P.
for real.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, man.
Legend.
I mean, he named so many.
Legend.
Vanity, Apollonia, Carmen Electra, bruh, Sheila E. You just, bruh, music.
Music.
R.I.P.
Why'd your
all
voice
right.
get low?
Because
He's feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
All right, I guess we'll end with that. See you in the plugs. All right, here we go for some plugs. Don't do it.
James, stop it.
Okay, Black Man Podcast, at Black Man Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. BlackmanPodcast.com for our show dates. Speaking of shows, May 22nd, New York City Podfest.
Yup.
Come to NYC, $5 tickets, 3 p.m. show.
Yeah, come out, hang out.
Go to our website for more info. At John Braylock on Twitter, Instagram, and I think I'm going to change my Snapchat.
You don't like
Yeah,
Lil
no.
Jon?
You don't like... Wait, no. What?
No, it is Little John 2001 still, but like I feel like I'm going to have to change it. Like
To
if I
John
want,
Braylock?
just it doesn't make any sense. Why don't I have his John Braylock?
But Lil
Lil Jon.
You get
Right,
so
right now it's
excited.
Lil
Every
Jon
time you say
2001.
it, you get so excited.
I know it is. Anyway,
He's
my
smiling
old
right
AIM
now.
screen name. And that's
You
about
called it
it.
AIM. I called it AIM.
AIM. No, it is AIM. Hey, whatever. That's it. Keep going.
You know, you can follow me, James Third Comedy. Third is 3RD. I'm on every social media platform, but the video ones I don't really do.
So you're not on every social
you can,
media platform?
I am. You can follow me on Vine and you can follow me on Snapchat.
Do you ever do Vine?
But I don't do any of those things. But it's James Third Comedy. Either way, if you're looking for me, you can find me. Also, JamesThirdComedy.com to find out about shows, etc. I got a solo show coming up June 19th. That's a Sunday, 7 p.m. It's going to be in Brooklyn. Tickets are $10. The show is called Junior. It's in the Dead Parents Club Festival at the Tank.
That's dope. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Jerah Milligan, on Snapchat at Jerah M. You know, if y'all watch MTV, go on MTV.com and like.
No, don't just. What are you doing?
Look.
If y'all watch MTV,
so, like,
Jerah's on MTV News.
like
He's a
MTV
correspondent.
News,
Yeah, y'all-
like MTV News, and check out the videos.
Yeah, y'all go on MTV News. I'm doing some reporting on actually still racial issues. I got some hate mail recently.
Oh God.
I mean, of course.
So go on, MTVnews.com or Facebook on MTV News or MTV or Twitter, or I think they're on Instagram as well. They
Yeah,
always
if
tweet
y'all
it
haven't
out.
seen them yet, they're great.
Thank you. Go do that. I need some more views so they won't fire me. Yeah, that's that.
All right, and next week we are reviewing the film Dope.
Dope.
Starring Shamik Moore. It's on Netflix right now. Go watch it. We'll see you next week.
Peace. What?
I hate you.
That was a HeadGum podcast.